Watch this. Drawstrings, it's just a rope. If you tie one side over the other in a rope around the body, you'll twist the body. But if you're right-handed, like 85 to 90%, give or take, of the population of human beings across the planet Earth in modern 2026, today's the 27th of August, this is In the Image Clothing Company's main site. The video's title, Keeping Crotch Stitch is Centered in Pants, okay? If we don't have a centered crotch stitch in the pants, we don't have even activation from both legs. But you've got an imbalance of activation in your legs, okay? This is one of the biggest things that'll do it. This little tiny stitch, I know it seems small. Lilo. Shout out to Disney. But if you don't cut this stitch out, if this is stitched over like this, then you've got the crotch stitch coming up and it's a whole inch, inch and a half, 2 inches maybe even potentially off from the center of the rest of the crotch stitch. Okay, and you need 2 even sides because you've got 2 even legs. Okay, on Earth's vertical gravity pull, we got to stay standing up, or you're not going to. But if you're standing up like this, well, your body is not really using both sides. Chronic patterns of working damage to the body, permanent until addressed or fixed. So anyway, you need centered crotch stitches in your pants. This video is titled the 27th of August 2026. Keeping crotch stitches centered in pants. Okay, and so what happens is if you tie a drawstring one side over the other, you twist the entire body, okay? And now, the crotch stitch hanging with Earth's vertical gravity pull, mind you, okay? There's no kind of new information. It's physics. Universal laws outside of all of us that we don't get to decide or change as human beings is what we have to abide by. Being just this physical, mechanical machine placed on this rock in space we call Earth, Earth has a vertical pull to its gravity that meshes with the center line of our bodies, okay? But we've got 2 legs evenly opposing the center line of our bodies. And this crotch stitch needs to stay right in the middle. Wow. All right, so keeping crotch stitches centered in pants. This video's title, the 27th of August 2026, under In the Image Clothing Company's main site here, doesn't happen if you twist one side of a rope over the other side and tie it in a knot. It moves the whole pants off to one side because you've got one side of the pants. Look, let's look at this as physics, not as some kind of opinion for some company I'm trying to have, if that's what you think. One side of a rope over the other side of a rope. You tie it underneath. Call it a drawstring. It's just a rope. You've got one side of something higher than the other side of something. A drawstring knot, a shoelace around the ankle, In the Image Clothing Company. These things are just ropes. And the thickness of the rope is how high one side's gonna be over the other side. Okay, so you tie one side over the other, you twist the entire body. Shifting the pants off to one side, your crotch stitch moves off to one side, hits against the inner leg muscles called the adductors, sensory activation to the nerve endings on the epidermis, the organ of the body we call the skin, transfers into the musculature's fibers, and they activate. More on one side than the other.
If we take the rope and we put the other side over first, and we tie it in a right-handed knot, 85%, 90% maybe, give or take, of human beings across the planet Earth in modern 2026 are right-handed. Moves the whole pants off to one side. Down the crotch seam, gravity doesn't pull it vertical anymore. But we rotate one side of a rope over the other, and now the whole pants are that thickness of the rope higher on one side than the other, and it moves the crotch stitch off to the side and presses it against the inner leg muscles. Sensory activation happens in the musculature fibers when the epidermis, or the skin of the body that is an organ, feels the pressure of the crotch stitch being moved off to the side against the inner leg muscle, and it activates more than the other. Now you're in a right-handed patterning. It's just a rope. It's just a rope. It's just a rope. Oh, it's just a rope. So we show the slipped lap knot, L-A-P-P, you know, under In The Image Clothing Company. Find it where you find it. I'll do it up relatively close here. I'm not going to really explain it all that thoroughly, but this is what we call a slipped lap knot, okay? Shoot, I did it wrong. Hold on. I've got a lot of stuff going on around me, as you can tell. So you grab it here, you pull it up, you put this in a loop underneath, up over the top, and then you pull it tight. Okay, that's it. The slipped lap knot. Okay, but anything you could possibly try to tie a knot, like to have it just nice and horizontal. Now this is a flat rope. Ideally it's more spherical, cylindrical, round, okay, but it's just horizontal at this point. There's a button there, and there's two sides of material going over each other in this pant design, but the horizontal surface of the planet Earth always remains. Before you could go up a hill or down a hill, he's back. It's actually a different car as far as I can tell. Very similar looking in ways. Here's the thing. Class dismissed, I guess, right?